Good evening. It's Thursday, October 13th, 2022. Welcome back to BoomerRexTonight, your nearly daily source for news and politics. I'm RisenLadyHeathen. Hey, asshole. What separates our show from other Millennial news podcasts?
Really nothing, but there was a spider in my coffee, so that kind of derailed.
Oh,
And that would separate our podcast.
That's
if
true.
You swallowed a spider.
Along came a spider and climbed into your coffee cup. Gross.
Yeah. Alright, I meant to spit it all out.
We have a boomer, and not just any boomer. We have Mr. Boomer Rex himself.
Yeah, good night.
You two eat, sleep, and breathe politics, and I'm still learning. That's three unique perspectives we share along with the facts from our literal round table. For those of you too busy for regular news, we get all you need to know about today's January 6th insurrection hearing. We watched it, so you didn't have to. And if you did anyway, we're also going to be reading between the lines for you. So this will be exciting. So I'm going to give you a general overview of what happened, and then we're going to pick it apart and tell you, what this means and what they didn't say out loud, but highly suggested. So this should be exciting. At least I'm excited, but I'm kind of weird. All right. So
Well, for you, it wasn't just pointless old rich people talking about that time someone was rude to the collection of old rich people.
Yeah. No, it was a good summary of the criminality of the Trump organization and all the
Okay, so quick article.
sycophants.
It's on the BBC.com. I figured this is a great sort of neutral place. They have no skin in the game. So it's called January 6 Panel Votes to Issue Subpoena for Trump Testimony. It's by Matza, Matza, of the BBC News Washington. The U.S. Congressional Committee investigation last year's Capitol riot is issuing a legal summons for former President Donald Trump to testify. He's required to answer for his actions, said Representative Benny Thompson, a Mississippi Democrat. If Mr. Trump does not comply with the summons, known as a subpoena, he could face criminal charges and imprisonment. The Select Committee is looking into Trump's supporters' storming of Congress on January 6, 2021. The panel, seven Democrats and 2 Republicans, voted 9-0 in favor on Thursday of issuing the subpoena for former Republican president to provide documents and testimony under oath in connection with the Capitol riot. The subpoena is expected to be issued in the coming days and include a deadline for when Mr. Trump must comply. Representative Liz Cheney, a committee's vice chairwoman and a Wyoming Republican, said, "We are obligated to seek answers directly from the man who set this all in motion, and every American is entitled to those answers." The surprise move came during the investigation's 9th and possibly final public hearing for the investigation into last year's raid on Congress. At Thursday's session, the committee said it would focus on Mr. Trump's state of mind as he refused to admit defeat to Joe Biden in the presidential election of 2020. Mr. Trump, who has lambasted the inquiry as a ruse designed to distract U.S. voters from the disaster of the Democratic governance, is widely expected to refuse to testify and fight the subpoena. His former political strategist, Steve Bannon, also flouted a similar legal summons from the Select Committee to testify. He was found guilty in July of criminal contempt of Congress. On Thursday, Mr. Trump, who has been hinting he may run for president in 2024, questioned on his Truth Social platform why the committee did not ask him months ago to testify. Why did they wait until the very end, the final months of their last meeting, he posted. Because the committee is a total bust that has only served to further divide our country, which, by the way, is doing very badly. A laughingstock all over the world. During Thursday's hearing, the committee showed never-before-seen footage of Congress being evacuated as the building was breached and the lawmakers being moved to secure shelters. Democratic Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, whose daughter filmed the video, is seen expressing shock when told that lawmakers in another part of the building were being told to wear gas masks. She and other lawmakers in the clip desperately call military officials and the governors of nearby states in a plea for more resources to fight back the mob. Mike Pence, Mr. Trump's vice president, is heard on the phone speaking to Ms. Pelosi about how long it will be before lawmakers can return to the floor to resume voting on Mr. Biden's confirmation. The committee also heard evidence that Mr. Trump was aware he had lost, but encouraged the conspiracy theory about a stolen election anyway. White House communications aide Alyssa Farah said in videotaped testimony that about a week before the election, the president was watching the news when he said to her, "Can you believe I lost to this effing guy?" The panel has spent more than a year interviewing over 1,000 witnesses, including Mr. Trump's children, his top aides, and top military and police officials. Under the committee's rules, its lawmakers must produce a report of their findings. It is expected to be released in December. Ms. Cheney and the other Republican on the panel, Adam Kinzinger of Illinois, have become pariahs in their party amid conservative backlash to their participation in the inquiry. She lost a primary election this summer for her Wyoming seat, and Mr. Kinzinger has decided not to run in next month's U.S. midterm elections. More than 850 people have been charged with participating in the riot at Congress. So, there's your short but sweet basic overview of what happened. So now let's really talk about what happened, why they did it this way, and what it means going forward.
Because that was my first reaction. Was I expected it to be another prime? Right. Last episode's going to be a prime time hearing.
Yeah.
And they're going to finish sewing up all the bits they've laid out, pull the string, and bam, now it's a cool puppet story.
Right.
But I think it was better this way. I think they get.
Go ahead.
I think they got to talk to housewives at home without their husband yelling about, "No, goddammit, that's not murder."
Yeah, because for me, it's funny because we turned it on this morning. It started out here at like 10. And I was like, dang, why'd they have to do it so early? It's too early to even have a drink or a glass of wine while watching this.
Or popcorn.
But no, it was good.
Well done.
Yeah, once again, I was not disappointed.
Right.
I certainly wasn't as tuned in, but they were kind of recovering a lot of stuff, which we know very well and talk about pretty much regularly anyway. And when I went into great detail about the January 6th insurrection, a lot of this was hinted at. So
Yeah.
this isn't really
Most of this
anything we
fell
weren't
along what
expecting.
we speculated.
Exactly. This all matches with everything that we had speculated, assumed, and otherwise just said, yeah, this is what was going on.
And they did kind of all the things I wanted without overdoing any of them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm of the school of thought that says the Secret Service should be taken away from the president. So
Oh yeah. No, right now the
just
Secret
let them
Service.
kick enough dirt at them.
Here's my thing: the Secret Service turned over thousands of emails and private.
It was over 1 million pages of documents.
Yeah, like a private chat group that the Secret Service is in and everything. But for some reason, something that they were texting to each other during the day was so important for them to delete. It makes me wonder, with as damning as the rest of this information
was under
is, what the fuck was
It
in
was
those
under
text messages?
subpoena when it was deleted.
Yep.
There's some folks who should go to jail for that.
Aggressively.
I'm torn, because if you really want the best of the best security kids, yeah, they're going to have a discussion while they watch this and go, is he doing a fucking coup? Could you hit him from here? Like,
Yeah.
the range of discussions that would be on the table if you assembled a security force worth talking about, yep, I'd delete them too. Again, though, as we discussed in our previous episode, right, I'd stroll right into Congress and be like, yep, I deleted every bit of them. Fuck you. That's why. Bitch, we jump in front of guns or bullets for presidents for a living. If you put any of us in jail, we'll probably break them out.
Now, watching this for the first time made me feel like if Trump had gone there, and I've kind of played around with this thought before, but I don't think before I didn't believe he would have gone through with it, but after what I saw today,
Yeah.
I think that if he had gone down there, if he had been there in person, he wouldn't have even had to have.
No.
If he was there in person, it would have gone down exactly the way the Proud Boys planned, verbatim.
Yes.
I think one of the key things from today was they knew, DOD knew, the White House knew,
Where
the
were the
Secret
people to
Service
cover
knew
this? They knew
that
days
there was
in advance.
going to be violence on January the 6th. And they did not convey that to Congress, and they did not convey that adequately to the DC Metro Police.
Yep.
And they did not prepare. There was a huge conspiracy. There, a whole bunch of folks that wanted Trump to be able to overthrow the government of the United States.
Yes.
Oh,
And
man.
that should
And there's
scare
been
you all.
speculation, and the way it was worded, I think the Justice Department may have testimony that Trump was just waiting for somebody to get killed so he could declare martial law and collect the voting machines.
No, the problem is for Trump, he won't give the order. Right? He will not sign the thing that seizes power, that does the thing.
Yeah, he's a pansy.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, he's but that party isn't right without people who would. Right? I think DeSantis would. I don't know if DeSantis has the same goals. Because part of what allows this is Trump's fucking batshit. Like, there's no bottom to him. Right? He would literally happily burn the country if it meant his ego could be okay for 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and I think that amount of empty is more rare. But
You mean like firing Patriot missiles into Mexico to destroy the drug labs? Flying drug labs.
The fact that they had people waiting in Virginia
Yeah.
to come down and help.
Heavily on.
The fact that we know that they had
Yeah.
people in sniper positions in hotels and such. The fact that we know that they had people in hotel rooms with guns galore, just waiting for the word.
Yep.
The way that this all fizzled out only happened, I believe this 100% now, because Trump did not show up. And him not showing up was there. All right, we need to stand down.
Well, it was more than that. The Secret Service prevented him from going right after the rally. But later in the day, they were suiting up for an off-the-record trip to the Capitol,
yeah.
and somebody finally managed to stop the nonsense. So it'd be interesting to know who managed to stop it.
And that I don't think ever comes out.
So, oh, it might. We'll see.
I
Because DOJ is going to read him the charge sheet and then ask him questions.
DOJ couldn't catch clap in a whorehouse.
We'll see.
And Trump ain't gonna say shit. He's gonna ramble on and on about windmills.
This
and
isn't
fucking...
some junkie
I
they're
don't care
gonna
what
flip
Trump
because
says.
they're fucking
He can say anything
DT.
he wants as long as he goes to prison.
Yeah, good fucking luck with that.
We'll see.
I wish I know, I absolutely
Here's my
hope.
thing. As far as I'm concerned, if he was in a position like, say, me, just a regular everyday person who did all this, he would be in jail already.
Oh, yeah.
If
He
were a
would be
regular,
in jail still waiting for them to finish their whatevers and then charge him, because this is the type of thing that he would wait in jail for them to finish researching all this and talking to everybody, and then they'd come to him and say, all right, here's the deal, you're going away forever. But because he's Trump, because he's rich, because he has whatever,
Because he can
means
split
that
America
he was
in
the
half.
president and blah blah
And we'll
blah,
find out who has a bigger piece of wishbone at the end.
they're not going to do anything about this, or they would have done it already. This subpoena is just a way to show the people that they're trying, but there's a lot keeping them from moving forward appropriately in the way they really should, in the way they have to.
let's see, only organized crime takes the fifth. You think Trump will take the fifth?
For fucking sure.
Yeah. Either that or he'll babble.
Hey, and that's the thing. I heard somewhere.
I think he's
thought
gonna
that
do
his
both.
demand was he wanted it streamed live, and absolutely, because you know he's gonna say crazy shit.
He's gonna say crazy shit, and he's gonna plead the fifth. It's gonna be a mixture of both.
Yep.
I don't have to answer that question. You know what question I want answered? I want answered the question about, Hillary's emails and why isn't she in jail?
And we get to kick this ball off.
I would treat him the same way they treated all the other witnesses. They would record his testimony and play back only that I thought was
Fair.
relevant. And there wouldn't be any nonsense about Hillary's emails or
Yep.
how the election had been stolen or any of that shit.
Right.
So,
But no, what they showed us today is that they have a lot of damning information, and they're not doing enough with it. That's the problem.
no, they don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
DOJ. And all of DOJ has all of that and a great deal more. So we shall see.
They're not doing anything. So
The wonderful thing I found out today was that Pelosi said if he comes down here, she's going to beat him up. And I tell you what, in that boxing match, my money would have been on Pelosi.
When governments fall, she and her daughter would have been raped to death in front of a baying crowd of Americans applauding the entire thing.
Yeah, but Trump would be on the floor with great big punch holes in his little orange face.
no, they wouldn't
She's
have let
a
her get
70-year-old
within,
woman. She'd have broken every bone in her hand.
and they wouldn't have let her get within
Hey.
3 feet of him.
Yeah. No, the bloodbath would have happened before Trump got out of the limo.
No, if Trump was outside, he would have just been hanging out outside, and
Yeah.
all the people would have gone in. They would have grabbed Pence, they would have grabbed his family, they would have grabbed Pelosi, and everybody else they could get their hands on, and they would have lined him up and walked him through that thing that they built.
Gallows.
Yeah, thank you. The poorly made gallows that they might have been lucky to kill one person on, but they would have tried. That's the important part.
No, and that was
when that didn't work, people would, as you say, get raped and beaten to death. It would happen.
Yeah. No, we've seen crowds in Mexico pull police apart because they thought they were plotting to kidnap children. No, humans are dangerous in mobs. And they're governed by the worst instincts of humans. And
They were riled up. Already. They
it
were
was
ready
dumb
for it.
as shit, and part of it is the insanity of all of this. But when they were talking about how long it was going to take to clean up, who fucking cares? Step over Ashley Babbitt's bloodstain and go vote. This is America. We don't always have the thing to do this.
Yeah.
They burned the White House before, so
I think that
we're
was the
supposed to
British.
be a punchy. Yeah, but I'm saying we're supposed to be a punchy revolutionary nation, and we're not. And
The Democrats should learn to throw an elbow.
You take a Clorox wipe the poop off the desk, sit down, and get shit done. Literally.
No, especially since I'd be more concerned about that many not vaccinated humans wandering around during COVID without masks, which is I still don't understand. Here's your chance to have worn a mask while you did your crimes.
Yeah,
No, and again,
and only a handful did.
well, and the worst part is that even the people that maybe wore masks for other reasons and whatever, they were posting this all over their social fucking media and telling
I
their
know.
friends,
Hey.
and taking pictures and videos, and God, don't record
Revolution will not be
crimes.
televised, but it will be fucking live tweeted.
Or the jerk in the balaclava and the tactical helmet and so forth that wore his employer's jacket.
Yeah.
All right.
I love that one.
Hey. No revolutionary ever expects they're gonna have to be in court afterwards.
Yeah. So speaking of which, I think John Eastman and Jeffrey Clark are very likely to face charges.
There's hoping.
Roger Stone, I'll be interested in what they managed to do to him. To get him up on charges, they're going to have the folks on the other end of that coordination.
Yeah.
Right.
No, and Roger Stone, like Manafort, knows that it is to his benefit to take whatever hit they dole out, right? Because I've seen depositions with Roger Stone when he doesn't like the people he's dealing with or he isn't afraid of them. He's afraid of the January 6th committee,
He should be.
but, right, I don't think he rolls. I think you have to, right, if you want to go on and
Well, he's the boy who said, let's get past the voting and get on to the violence.
Uh-huh.
Unquote.
That's a fucking, no, He's one of the ones who's scary because he doesn't care.
Which may be, if they can get the appropriate people to roll on it,
Yep.
right? He is not going to go over well in a court.
No.
So, and they can play literally hours of the most disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
And he is himself personally disgusting.
Yeah. No, all things in service to power.
Yeah.
Right. No underguiding philosophy. No.
Yeah.
Other than more power, please.
Anyway, what was made clear today, this violence was long planned. It was planned by people who were very close to Trump. And Cat, get out of there. And that Trump was aware of it.
Yeah.
And that
DOJ
Trump
will
knew
have
he
more
lost.
similar evidence. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yes,
No.
and that he knew he lost. He knew this was all a game.
Yeah, all his bullshit about, I didn't lose the election. Yeah.
So there goes
Don
your
Eastman
favorite
told
bullshit.
him that this was a violation of law.
The media.
He had like
No more speculating about, well, it's a lie if he didn't know it wasn't true, or...
He knew it was true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew. He lied. It's not him saying some alternate fact. So, no, fucking...
I'm perfectly happy to have him found guilty but insane and confined in an
that
asylum.
was one of the things I was wondering about, is that's actually not a bad move. It's all they've got, really. And it would be easy enough to prove.
Yeah, guilty and mentally unstable to, be able to sit for court. So
Yep.
send him to
Put him in an
an
institution.
institution. Yeah.
Evaluate him once every 2 years.
Yep. And he's got the money to have it be a really nice one.
But I mean, honestly, this hearing just kind of laid out, everything we already knew and assumed and suspected, but confirmed it all. Like, heard confirmation. Like, you can't wiggle your way around this anymore.
Yeah.
Well, the Democrats are saying, no, these were all Republicans, assholes. Republicans are saying this. Trump Republicans.
And out of-
Trump Republicans who spilled blood for this man.
And out of working levels where it's not some lifelong bureaucrat trying to stay
Yeah.
in or near the levers of power.
Right.
So it's not somebody with a career motivation.
I do notice that, they're asked very difficult questions and they answer them, but then they immediately try to backpedal
Yeah.
in some other way.
Soften the
Yeah.
edges.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah, it's like the who's it's with this. Well, I can't talk about direct conversations and just
I'm not. What the fuck do you mean you can't talk about direct conversations? You were not the orange cocksucker's lawyer.
nope. You don't. He doesn't have attorney-client privilege with you.
Yes.
But we got rid of that apparently.
Got rid of a client-attorney privilege?
The White House lawyer is not working for the president.
No.
He works for the fucking building.
Yeah.
He works for the office of the presidency.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and the fact that he said he couldn't answer the question should have. Well, we'll see. He may yet wind up on charges. He had several opportunities to do something and didn't do it. He should at least have to defend himself in court.
Would be nice.
Yep. Line them all up.
I guess, yeah.
No, and
Line them up, fuck them up.
what I'm going to
Sure.
say is that one of the things that this hearing should really scream to all Americans is that there's more going on behind the scenes than we know. There's a lot going on in the Woodworks that's very bad for America. The fact
This
that
is a continuing
the
coup.
Secret Service was ready to support Trump in whatever this was.
At some level.
It's some
was
of them at
thoroughly
least.
compromised.
Yeah.
Yep.
At least
And they're all
as close
vulnerable
as-
to the same trick, right? The security forces of the United States will do whatever it takes to keep there from being chaos. Above all other things.
No, the smartest thing they did was keep him from going.
At least, excuse me, the law enforcement side.
I don't think
The
they did. I think
military
they were
has a
perfectly
different view.
happy with it.
But
the Secret Service were the ones that wouldn't let him go.
the first time. They're the ones who set up the off-the-record trip. That didn't happen.
So-
And that could have been forced upon them, or it was set up in a way to make it seem like,
We'll
oh,
find
well,
out.
this person said you couldn't go, so sorry, boss, we tried.
I hope we do.
But there's a lot going on here in the government that's being whispered and whatever in back rooms and
Yeah.
shady taverns around DC that y'all need to be aware of. Voting Republican is voting for these assholes right now.
Yeah.
That's what these November
by any
elections
means.
are about.
Yep.
If you vote for a Republican, you're voting for another insurrection. End of discussion.
Well, if they win,
They will take over this country if they win. They will take over this country, and it will never go back to normal without a lot of bloodshed.
Won't even then. From the point we hit violence, we will never again achieve that level of cohesiveness. Right. Costa Rica could fund an insurrection in the fallen states of America that can't be put down by any local force. Right. We are talking about any bit player who wanted to. Right. Haiti could conquer Florida at that point. I don't think they want it, but
I don't think they'd know what to do with your average Florida person.
That's all right.
They'll
By
be begging
2050,
for
it's-
water and whoring out the women they've captured.
There.
by 2050, Florida's going to be underwater. So
Yeah.
Oh,
who
so
cares?
but in general, I want this to I took this as a warning from the committee.
Oh,
That
absolutely.
there's stuff that they do not have the ability to do anything about except present facts. That's all they can really do. And encourage people to provide facts. That's kind of where they're
And
at.
send DOJ criminal referrals, which I believe they will do. But that DOJ's already figured out who they're going to fuck with.
Yep.
They're just waiting for after the
We'll
election.
see if they can do it, or if they'll decide that to keep the New York field office from going crazy, they've got to throw the elections the other direction.
Fire them all.
Like we did last time.
Anyway, so if the Republicans win, you know what's going to happen. There will be no abortion rights anywhere in the United States.
Yep.
They're going to cut. They will drastically cut Social Security and Medicare.
Yep.
They've already said this is what they want to do. So you go right ahead and vote for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, abortions will be illegal in every state with no exemptions.
Genital exams
You
for
won't-
children playing sports.
Yep.
Yep.
It's a laundry list of whatever the craziest shit fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene and Sarah Palin huffing paint can come up with.
Yep.
Yeah, you want to love and marry somebody? Nope.
Depends.
Nope.
You must color exactly within the lines.
Yep. And if you're black or brown, you're fucking doomed.
Yeah.
So
Don't get me started.
But
I think we've seen
not
some
a big
killings
voting
now.
demographic for
That's
them.
gonna get worse. No, just in general, like this. Once again,
If you
as
think this is as bad as it can get, you lack imagination.
yeah,
That's true.
No, once again, with all of these hearings, like these are stark warnings of the direction America is aggressively going in.
and if
And
you
they're
want
most
to live in
committed
Trump
win.
world, you better go fucking
There's-
register and vote.
Yep.
And drag your idiot friends to vote.
Absolutely. Drive them.
Tell them that, if they don't vote Dem, then they're voting fascist, because that's where this is going
Yep.
very quickly. Our voting rights are already being taken away. They're trying to make it harder to vote by mail, which is actually the easiest, best, and most effective way to get more people to vote, so that you have more people, putting their word into our government, which is the whole fucking goddamn point of a democratic society, is the more people that are involved, the better, quote unquote, it should be. The fact that they are trying to stop people from voting and they're gerrymandering so that people's votes don't matter, just fucking come out and just vote in masses that they have never seen before. Masses that they can't even fucking deal with. When they're trying to be shitty about you giving somebody in line a bottle of water, punch them in their stupid fucking faces. I'm just kidding. Don't hurt anybody. But seriously, tell them to fuck off and mind their business.
Mm-hmm.
So.
No, but if someone's scaring you with a thing, feel free to record a video and send it to the ACLU.
Mm-hmm.
They love that kind of shit.
Oh, yeah.
No, and this is also so to at least end us on a slightly upward trajectory from where we somehow ended up, because we did actually like the hearings, but there's a fair amount of like
There's a
afterglow is
lot.
over.
There's a lot of shadow.
No, we can
over
fuck this up a lot.
There's a lot of talk. Let's see some fucking action.
Yes.
Let's see some fucking trials.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and if they're gonna say you're right, it's politicized. That regardless of what you do,
Do it.
yeah, do some shit. So the good news side of it being largely, nope, it's all gone. You guys battled through it. Oh well. I don't have it. Like, it's not.
One of the better pieces of news is that the Republican nonsense about mail-in ballots and so on has discouraged lifelong Republicans from voting by mail.
Yep.
Right? So now they're going to have to go vote in person.
COVID skewed pretty heavily one direction too.
Yeah.
Let's see if it was by enough.
Well, we've got, 24 days, 25 days, something. Not going to be good.
Get your shots, the monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just, these, hearings all have like a little, dark cloud hanging over them if we do not listen to them. See, that's the thing. They're giving us all the information we need. And now we need to make sure that the government moves forward and acts on this information in the appropriate manner. And the only way to do that is by voting for people who will continue to do something about it.
Right. Or elect the Trumpistas and it will all go away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and by all go away, you mean all of America. It won't exist as the America, it barely exists as the America I thought it was when I was younger now.
Yeah.
Don't even fucking get me started. There's something else I wanted to say, but it keeps wandering off,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yep.
So anyway, if I come up with it, maybe I'll put it on tomorrow night's pregame show or something.
Absolutely.
So we'll figure it out. But anyway, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, heart, follow, review, smash that like button on YouTube. Go to BoomerRexTonight, no spaces on Facebook for fun memes, and link to our Patreon, give us $1. You can find us on YouTube as BoomerX, or check your favorite podcasting service for BoomerRexTonight. We can be found on over a dozen different platforms, including Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Samsung Podcasts. Hit us up at Twitter at BRexTonight, and if you Google BoomerRexTonight, no spaces, all links will lead you to us. We love y'all. We'll see you back here tomorrow night for more BoomerRex Tonight.
Good night, Chelsea.